Welcome to the channel. Welcome to today's run through of all the latest Manchester United news and transfer updates, keeping you right up to date with everything. I'm Jamie. Before getting into it, smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and let's jump straight into it. So let's kick off with a little bit of positivity. So Lisandro Martinez flew out to Dubai to do some warm weather training as part of a designated training program. The current projection is for him to return to group training after the international break. Now, that came from Sully Talks. Sully Talks is normally very credible when it comes to things like this, injury news and player updates and a bit of inside information regarding the club as well. So there's been a lot of will he, won't he noise going on around Lisandro Martinez. But according to Sully Talks, back in first team training, group training anyway, after the international break, I still think he's going to take a bit of time to get up to speed. And that's I'd assume anyway, the next step in his rehabilitation. But that'll be a massive boost to get Martinez back. He's such a good player when he's fit and firing and available. His passing, his tenacity, his tackling, his leadership, all of these things, a massive miss when he's out. And I just hope, so touch wood, he can stay injury-free now because we need him. And we're a completely different team when Martinez plays in that back line because of all the qualities that he has and his line-breaking passes from the back as well, especially in this system, I think are really, really important to us and the way we want to play football and stuff. So I think it's a really big positive to have Martinez back. And like I said, around the place, in the dressing room, things like that. He has that leadership quality about him as well. So hopefully, touch wood, he can stay injury free now as well, because it's been such a shame what's happened to him with the consistent injuries that he's had. But yeah, bit of positivity. Corner Sully Talks back first team training after the international break, and then that'll be the next part of his rehab. It's not going to come straight back into the team. He's going to need minutes and training. So, but maybe a few weeks of training, next international break, and then possibly after that we can have Martinez back. But yeah, give us your thoughts and feelings on that in the comments below. Now I'm going to go through some takeover waffle. So I'm going to say straight away, take this story with a pinch of salt. So this is coming from none other than Indy Kalia, who, again, I'm going to repeat, I am not on the bandwagon about, just because they were right about something and got shouted out by David Ornstein. Everybody's seen a gone giddy, but everything I've seen them post since has just been absolute waffle. But they're claiming that our sources at Man United are reporting that United Arab Emirates-based consortium are meeting Man United officials in London at 1 p.m. The UAE officials are very serious about purchasing the club. The Glazers are open to all possibilities. So I'm going to say straight away, this is not the source of information that is going to break Manchester United being sold. It's absolutely not. In my opinion anyway, it's going to come from more like a business. Was it not like Reuters or someone like that broke the original story when the club was up for sale? It was like a business outlet, not even a football outlet, that's going to break this story. And there are way more credible journalists than Indy Kalia that I'm sure have their noses to the ground that are trying to dig a little deeper into the whole takeover or the sale shenanigans that's been going on over the last few days, and well, probably the last week, isn't it now? With all due respect, it's not going to be broken by this particular source of information, because they've just, since being shouted out by David Ornstein in the summer, has just talked absolute bullshit ever since. And just talking about bullshit, give us your thoughts on this, right? I was thinking the other day about, because there is absolutely a ton of bullshit clickbait waffle that goes on about Man United. So give us your thoughts about this in the comments. Let me know if it's something that you would see, where I do like a weekly video just going through the absolute waffle for you. Give us your thoughts, give us your suggestions, because I don't want to make content and make a video if it's not something that you would be interested in watching. So if you want me to go through and debunk some more of the absolute bullshit that goes on regarding Man United rumours and talk and everything like that as well, and we'll do like a weekly, like once a week, go through and find some absolute humdingers for you. Let me know in the comments if it's something that you would be interested in watching. Now, so let's go through some transfer news. So firstly, this came out from the Mirror over the weekend, saying that Man United shock £60 million Premier League transfer swoop with 2 stars set for exit. So this came from Jeremy Cross, who does write for the Star and for the Mirror as well. So I'd say take with a pinch of salt, but saying that Manchester United want to strengthen their midfield and eyeing a Premier League star who Red Devils boss Ruben Amorim has become a big fan of after keeping tabs on his talent. Player in question is Adam Wharton. So Manchester United are planning to launch a £60 million move for Crystal Palace star Adam Wharton, with club bosses believing a bid in that region would be good enough to tempt the Eagles to sell their sought-after playmaker. The Red Devils were unable to strengthen their midfield last summer, despite it being one of their priorities, but they have plans to do so ahead of next season, with Ruben Amorim preferred pairing of Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes coming under scrutiny this season. That makes sense. Amorim has kept close tabs on Wharton's progress at Selhurst Park and has become a huge fan of the midfielder per the Daily Star, but it's the same journalist that wrote the report in the Star as well. And the Portuguese coach is said to believe the talented 21-year-old has the technical abilities to be a huge success at United. The report adds that both Kobbie Mainoo and Casemiro are expected to leave Old Trafford. The former has not made a Premier League start this term and could move to Napoli on loan in January, whilst Casemiro's out of contract next year. And then there's still question marks around Bruno Fernandes' future as well. So we know full well that, midfield is the priority going into the next transfer windows, whether that be January or whether that be in the summer. That will depend on availability. I can't see Adam Wharton being sold in January personally, because Crystal Palace have had a very good start to the season. I don't think they're in a position financially where they would need to sell anybody. I think it would take a lot more than £60 million to get Adam Wharton in January. Ben Jacobs was saying before that Wharton does have some sort of gentleman's agreement with Palace where he could be available for around £60-65 million in the summer, but there's going to be multiple teams all interested in Adam Wharton as well, because he is a fantastic young player, good profile and midfielder to bring in as well, but and is definitely on our list. He's on the list of players that we're heavily linked with, along with Carlos Baleba, Elliot Anderson, Edison, although those stories have gone a little bit quiet recently. Hjulmland's another one that I would say is still on the potential list of targets we would be looking for. But give us your thoughts and feelings on Wharton. Good shout, bad shout? Get involved in the comments. Let me know what you think. Now, just sticking with Wharton, this came from Steve Parish, who is Crystal Palace's part owner, where he was speaking on TalkSport. So Parish said, I think Adam at some point will want to play either in the Champions League with us, if we can make that happen, or probably with another club. He's an extraordinary talent. I think right now I can speak for Adam. I can't speak for Adam, but I think he's focused on his time at Crystal Palace. He had a broken season last season with the groin issues that he had, that a lot of young players get, and then went on to say that Paris was asked about interest from Man United. He said, if Manchester United want Adam Wharton, there's nothing surprising really about that. The fact of the matter is he's got a long contract to run. There's no pressure for us to do it, and I don't think there's any real pressure from the player either. So, and I know it's, the part owner of Crystal Palace is not exactly going to go on a radio interview and say, yeah, no, we'd accept £60 million. We're all over wanting to sell. So it is classic sort of talk, but dismissing the rumours and saying, look, there's, they want to ideally keep him if they get Champions League. Maybe Wharton would want to stay as well. Who knows? But yeah, he's definitely on the list. Good player. I would take Adam Wharton in a heartbeat. I think he would be a big upgrade on our midfield, but there's going to be competition for him. Apparently Real Madrid might be interested in him as well. So it's not going to be an easy deal to do. And then that would just increase the price. And is he going to want to come to United? That might depend on Champions League football. If we don't make Europe at all next summer, then that's probably rules him out, I would suspect. So, but yeah, give us your shouts on that in the comments below. Now let's continue with the transfer talks. So Man United ready record-breaking offer for Phenomenon, who will be a Ballon d'Or winner. So this is coming from a report in Team Talk. It's not from Team Talk though. I think it's from a Italian news outlet where they're saying that Manchester United are ready to make Kenan Yildiz the most expensive Turkish player in history, according to Italian media. As comments from Giuseppe Rossi, Alessandro Del Piero and Fabio Capello underline why Ruben Amorim and Christopher Vell are so keen on bringing the attacker to Old Trafford. Yildiz is one of the best young players in the world, and his performances for Juventus this season have attracted interest from a number of top clubs, including Manchester United, who are aiming to finish in the top four in the Premier League table. The 20-year-old Turkey international has operated as a second striker for Juventus and scored 2 goals, giving 4 assists in 8 matches in all competitions for the Italian Giants. And then it goes on to say that Arsenal are keen on a swap deal with Juventus for Yildiz, according to Radio in Italy. Is that actually a thing? Radio class. While Chelsea have already had a bid for the Turkish star rejected, Man United are also determined to sign Yildiz, according to the Italian media, with Tutto Juve reporting the Red Devils ready to offer 90 million euros to 78.3 million pounds. That would make Yildiz the most expensive Turkish footballer in history, with the current record being held by Arda Turan, who cost Barcelona an initial 34 million euros to 29.6 million pounds when he joined from Atletico Madrid back in 2015. Tutto Juve, a Juventus-centric news outlet, has reported that Man United consider Yildiz a key player to strengthen their attacking line, with manager Ruben Amorim and director of recruitment Christopher Vival viewing the attacker as a strategic investment. This particular report follows similar claim from Court Offside that noted Man United made Yildiz their big priority for summer 2026. Man United are reportedly ready to outbid Arsenal and Chelsea in pursuit of the Turkish gems. So I did bring you that story. I think it was a couple of weeks ago from Court Offside, where they were saying that United were interested in Yildiz. He is a player that we have been linked with probably since about January, I think, last year, if not a little bit earlier than that as well. Fantastic young player. Definitely one I could see, being a top quality player going forward. Whether we'll have the funds available, whether it's the position that we're looking to strengthen next summer after having spent this summer strengthening the attack. I do think we would need some strength in depth though as well. I think he could do a really good job. And I suppose a lot would depend on budget in European football as well. I don't think we'll have that sort of money especially when we need midfielders. Like, midfield is going to be the priority, and the players that we're linked with in midfield are very expensive, and I think that's going to take up a lot of our transfer budget next summer, so I can't see us going for him. Also in the report, though, it does say that a sum of 90 million euros for the 20-year-old would be massive, but Juventus are adamant they will not sell Yildiz. The Bayern Canary are aware that they have a generational talent in the Turkish ace and are working on a new contract for the 20-year-old, so I'm very skeptical about Italian media and stories linking United to Yildiz, although it is believable because he is a player that we have been linked with before, but he is under contract negotiations at the moment with Juventus, so we'll have to just wait and see how that one plays out. I'm going to pay attention to it. Could be one that we are looked at, or we could just be getting used by agents and Italian media to get clicks and views and, get a better deal out of Juventus, but he is a very talented player, one I wouldn't be against United going for. I want to see a bit more credibility, though, than where that story is coming from. But give us your thoughts and feelings on that in the comments below, as I am sure that you will. Now, we've also been linked with another midfielder. Now, this is one that got my attention. So, Manchester United are among the clubs interested in Corinthians midfielder Breno Bidon, 20, I think that's how it's pronounced, 20, and have contacted the player's entourage to start negotiations about a January transfer. Now, this is a player I don't know nothing about, apart from watching his highlights and doing a little bit of research and stuff for the video. Does actually look a very, very good midfielder. Can play in a lot of different positions in the midfield as well. So if you look at his, he's made 43 appearances, 1 goal, 1 assist so far, but played 11 times as attacking midfielder, 11 times as a sort of more orthodox central midfielder, 4 as a defensive midfielder, can play right wing, left wing, very talented. Interestingly, thing I've noticed about him, though, he is left-footed, and the reason I found that interesting is because Carlos Baleba is left-footed as well, and that's seen as a massive advantage for opening up passing lanes and angles. That's why left-footed midfielders are quite sought after as well. Does look like a really good player from what I saw. And again, I'm no expert when it comes to this kid, but this is exactly the sort of signing that I do get giddy about, because it's well scouted, it's outside of the obvious as well. Would have somebody like Christopher Vival's fingerprints written all over it. Very good pass completion. Progressive passes, progressive carries as well, successful take on. So that just shows the type of profile of midfielder that he is. Looks like he's got a very good pass, can dribble the ball, can play like sort of long diagonals from his highlights and stuff as well. So he does actually look like a really interesting player. I've tried to dig a little bit more into the report, and I believe that Arsenal have been linked with him in the past. I think City might be looking at him as well as they start their search for potentially a Rodri replacement. Whether this kid's good enough to be that, I have no idea, but there is a bit of interest around in him, and definitely wouldn't be one that I would be against going for. And going back to the original sort of report from UEOL Sport, they've got like 2.5 million followers online as well. Very decent South American news outlet, saying that we've contacted the players' entourage to start negotiations about a January transfer. So this could be one to pay attention to. I mean, it could be a load of waffle, and he ends up going for somewhere else. But this is the sort of player that I would like to see United go out and scout. Well scouted, well thought after, positionally. Maybe something that we are looking for, someone that can play as a box-to-box midfielder or as a holding midfielder or even as an attacking midfielder as well. Looks like he's got a good range of passing, can carry the ball. Me likey from what I could see so far, but again, don't know too much about the player, not watched games or anything like that. No expert when it comes to it. I'm sure that some of you in the comments will get involved and let us know what you think and what you think regarding the links to Bidon. So give us your shouts on that in the comments below. Now, so let's go through a little bit of exit news. So Harry Maguire's stance on Man United transfer, as Saudi offers expected. So this is coming in from the Manchester Evening News, where it's saying that Harry Maguire is ready to snub huge contract offers from Saudi Arabia if Manchester United offer him a new deal. And it goes on in the report to say that he's been offered around £500,000 a week salary from the Saudi Pro Leagues, but he would turn that down if United offer him a new contract. And again, it's one of these, Harry Maguire, where there are talks saying that we're not going to offer him a new contract. There are talks saying we are going to offer him a new contract. I think the main ones coming from Romano, though, are saying that he's potentially going to be offered a new deal. Whether he accepts the new deal, because I can't imagine him staying on the same salary that he is now for a bit part player. And I flip-flop on this all the time. I can see the benefit of keeping Harry Maguire because he's a good leader, an experienced professional, homegrown as well, good around, good character by all accounts, helps the young players and does all of that sort of things behind the scenes as well. But then, is he a place blocker for somebody else coming in? And I do think that we have to move forward as a club. Like, we can't continuously just keep the players that have got no longevity and no future at United just because they're nice blokes as well. And so I always flip-flop on the Maguire one, because I can see the pros of keeping him and I can see the cons of keeping him as well. And it's one of these, we'll just have to wait and see how it plays out. And you'll have split views on that as well in the comments. I know you're going to have mixed opinions on Harry Maguire from previous videos as well. So we'll just need to see how it all plays out. And then the final one, stating the obvious, but it's the final member of Man United bomb squad may finally land transfer exit. So 5 unwanted Man United players were part of Ruben Amorim's so-called bomb squad this summer. 4 have since departed, with only Tyrell Malacia remaining, but for how much longer? Galatasaray leading the race to sign Manchester United outcast Tyrell Malacia. The Turkish giants have put Malacia on their summer shopping list and are confident of luring him to Istanbul. Malacia has made his mind up to leave United at the end of this season when his deal is up. I love how he said he's made his mind. He had the opportunity to go in the summer and couldn't find a move. Plus, we're not offering him a new contract as well, so his mind's pretty much been made up for him, I would suspect. But he is desperate to get out of Old Trafford and could move in January if Gala are ready to take him early and pay United a nominal fee as well. So that could potentially be one to keep an eye on, where if we take a couple of £1 million or something like that, get rid of Malacia in January because he doesn't have any future at the club. And I don't think he's going to play either. I know he's back in first team training, but I can't see where his minutes are going to come from between now and then. So he may get a bid from Galatasaray in January. If not, he's going to go for free next summer anyway. So, but yeah, give us your shouts on that in the comments below. Give us your thoughts on all the other topics discussed in today's video, because that's you all up to date with the latest news and transfer updates. Don't forget to smash a like on the video on your way out. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. See you in the next one.